Hey guys, Jar Jar here to bring you the new Magicka Templar build. This is a build that I did craft with a little bit of help of Huey and Vader. Shout out to those guys before I start getting into the video. I don't want this video to be super long. I want to get straight to the point, so we're just going to go in starting with the skills. On my dual wheel bark, because we are dual wielding this patch, I am using Puncturing Sweeps. This is a really good single target and AoE skill. Moving right on to Radiant Oppression. I use this more as an execute. It actually got a buff and a nerf at the same time. It got a buff because the first tick of Radiant Oppression is going to be a crit. But it got a nerf because instead of dealing up to 40% additional damage in proportion to your current Magicka, it now does 20. I think it's a good fix because last patch it was a little bit OP. But moving on, this is something new I put in my build. I usually use Blazing Shield, but since shields aren't that great this patch, I decided to look into Channel Focus. I did use it on previous builds. But I really like this because not only does this give you Magicka for every half a second you're in it, it also grants you physical and spell resistance, which is really good. I'm going to show you what my stats are unbuffed and then when I use this buffed after I get done with this first bar. We are using Entropy for more spell damage. Also having this slotted on your main bar or whatever bar you decide to put this on. It does grant you 8% increase in max health. We're using Toppling Charge for a gap closer. This is a really good skill. Sometimes it bugs out though, where you'll Toppling Charge and then you won't be able to use an ability afterwards for a few seconds. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen sometimes. And I am a vampire. You don't have to be vampire. I just use it for the recovery. So I'm running a vampire ability on both bars. So I always get that Magicka recovery. I like Devouring Swarm. Last patch I used Clouding Swarm, but Devouring Swarm I found is better for me. Preference choice. It doesn't matter which one you pick. It's still going to be good. Moving on to... We'll go back to this real fast. So, as of now, these are my stats. I have 19,000 spell resistance, and I have 11,000 physical resistance. Use Channel Focus. I now have 25,000 spell res, and 16,000 spell resistance. So this is really good, and also, remember, for every half a second this effect is on you, you're gaining 120 Magicka. That's definitely something to look into. It's a really good skill. Moving on to the Restro bar. I am using Evasive Mist. This move is not as good as it was last patch. Last patch was so much better. You can actually get targeted inside of this form now. So it's not as good as last patch, but it's still something. I use it more as an escape or just to try and regroup or get my stuff together. Purifying Ritual. This is another good skill that I do not see a lot of Templars using. This skill can literally save your life in so many situations. There's so many times I use this skill to survive. Doesn't look like it does much, but it does cleanse all ground effects. So if you get Talons by DK, you can cleanse the Talons. You can also cleanse Meteors with this. And like any dot effect. So if you get hit with a poison injection, you can cleanse yourself just by pressing this. It's really good in group play too, because your teammates can use the Synergy, which heals them for 3,823 as soon as they pop that Y plus B. But yeah, this is a really good skill. I use it very often, and it's also a fair heal, 869 every 2 seconds for 12 seconds. We are still using Healing Ward. Even though Healing Ward is not as good as it was last patch, I still like Healing Ward. few points into Bastion, it's not as bad as people think. It's a really good combo I like to use. Is Healing Ward followed up with a Breath of Life. I find out to be pretty effective for me. I usually get a lot of health back. I do have a 1vx video of earlier this morning that I did with this exact build with the same setup. I will link that in the video description. Breath of Life, of course, the best heal in the game. This is really good. This is like, I don't know what else to say about this skill, besides this is the best heal in the game by far. Your self-heal / group heal, so if you're in a group, this is also a good heal. The other morph, Honor Dead, is pretty good. I haven't played around with it, but I plan to in the future. But I like Breath of Life. They actually fixed it for group play too. Usually when you spam Breath of Life, random people can get the heal. Now they fixed it so where, you know, whoever has low health will get the heal. It being all random. This skill is literally the best skill Templars have, and it's mind-boggling that Templars don't use it. This helps against any Magicka builds. You throw this around them, if they know not to CC break it, like, they can really hurt themselves. Basically what this bubble does is, say if I throw this bubble on a Sork, and he throws a frag at me, it'll show the frag coming towards me, but in reality it's hitting him. Each spell reflected, it heals you for 3,940. And when the effect ends, this didn't happen last patch, but when the effect ends, it does 3,160 magic damage. So if you add that together, that's around 7,000 damage if you successfully put that on somebody and they use a magical projectile or magical skill that hits them. The effect ends, they're going to take damage. Last patch, this skill had a lot of bugs where you can get double ulted, but I think they fixed it. Not too sure. But moving on to my ultimate, if you don't have Devouring Swarm or Ice Comet, use Dawnbreaker. I would go with the Smiting one, but if you don't have Dawnbreaker, always use, I don't know, Nova's pretty good, don't get me wrong, Nova's good, it's just really costly, and it's not bad. I like the morph version that creates the snare, because snares are pretty OP in this patch. Don't get me wrong, this is a good skill, but Templars don't really have good ultimates. This is not bad. This is as cheap as Dawnbreaker, so you better off just getting Dawnbreaker. If you want to level up Dawnbreaker fast, just run around an Imperial City. This is just a healing ultimate. You can't kill anybody with this. But I use Ice Comet and Devouring Swarm. Ice Comet, because of the snare, does a crap ton of damage. Probably my favorite ultimate in the game. I'm going to show you my character sheet really fast. I do have 279 champion points, and I am an Imperial. Race really doesn't matter for this build, but the top 3 races, in my opinion, the Imperial, Breton, or High Elf. No particular order. I feel like those classes are like meant for like Magicka builds. Going on to the gear now. This gear is crafted. It's called Kagranak's Hope. You can craft it. It's dual wield bar. This is a craftable set. It is an 8-trait set. You unlock it after doing Fighters Guild. Shout out to Blondie and Plenty Flames for making me this Kagranak's Hope set. I had to give them the mats, but thank God they can craft. I chose 2 swords because we're dual wielding, and I did choose the trait Nirnhone because it is pretty good on weapons still. It is not so good on armor. I did choose a cold and a disease glyph because I do weave in light attacks while I'm attacking. Kaggernat's Resto Staff is what I'm using. I'm using a 3-piece Archmage for the spell damage. You can get V14 Archmage just by buying the PvP bags, or you can get the V16 versions from the War of the Worthies. It's really RNG and random, or check guild traders. They're pretty expensive pieces. I am going 5 light, 2 heavy. My heavy piece is my Kraggernak's Hope chest piece, and my 1-piece Molag Kina. So it's 5 Kaggernak's Hope, 1-piece Molag Kina, 3-piece Archmage, 3-piece Willpower. For this build, as you can see, my recovery is at 1,949. I do use max food over drinks because I really do have good recovery. It's up to you. Everybody's build's going to be different. Just going to show you my champion point tree. I have 52 in Magician. I have 14 in Mooncalf, only because I feel like stamina is like my only weakness. I feel like I'm really good on Magicka, so you pretty much just need to put your champion points where you think your build needs help with. Like, say if you think you need more Magicka recovery, then of course you're going to put more points in Magicka recovery than anything. If you feel like you need more stam recovery, then boom, put more points in the stam recovery. I put 15 to Elfborn, 11 in Elemental Expert. I think I'm going to remove Elemental Expert and just go full Thaumatage in Elfborn. 15 into Spell Erosion, and 51 into Thaumatage. I'm just testing around with some champ points, seeing how I like things. I'm pretty sure I'm going to remove these 10 and put them here to Spell Shield to get more spell resistance. I have 53 into Bastion. The way I have my champion points aren't 100%. I'm just doing a little bit of testing still. Hope I covered everything. Let's see, we did the skills. Dual Wield and Restro. You want all your passive skills, if I haven't mentioned that. If you're not a vampire, what I would do, instead of Evasive Mist or Devouring Swarm, like I said, you can use Dawnbreaker. Or in place of here, you can use Blazing Shield or Harness Magicka. Harness Magicka is good, but it's only effective against, Magicka builds. Physical, there's a lot of stamina builds this patch. You see a lot of Stam DKs, a lot of Stam Nightblades, a lot of Stam Sorks, so that's the only reason why I'm not using Harness Magicka, because I run into more Stam builds than Magicka builds. Once I get all my passives, I believe pushing somewhere around 3.3k buffed. This is my damage unbuffed. But I don't know, we'll see. It's still missing a little bit of passive skills, but just wanted to throw this build out there. I'm using all the light armor passives, all the heavy armor passives, except for bracing because I'm not wearing more than 5 pieces of heavy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to throw a quick preview of what I was doing. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Make sure you guys subscribe. Hope this video helped. I am going to link the 1vx that I had earlier with this build. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you guys.